I was all nervous to jump on here and say goodbye to some of you because it's the end of Fruits Basket. I know some people are pretty much just here for Fruits Basket, but guess what? You better stay subbed because apparently we're getting another project, which means you ain't seen the last of me. I ain't saying goodbye yet. I ain't going nowhere. But with that said, hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the final Fruits Basket discussion video. Fruits Basket, the final discussion video, I should say, because there's going to be another one down the line. But welcome to the final Fruits Basket, the final discussion video. Today we're here to talk all about the big finale, episode 13. See you again soon. But quick reminder if you haven't done so yet, to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, set notifications to all, let all of AnyTube know that you're here. Just because Fruits Basket is ending does not mean that there's not going to be stuff that I'm going to be talking about that you guys might be interested in. We got a big slate of new seasonal stuff coming pretty soon, next week in fact. And obviously I'm going to be talking about the friggin' movie when that comes out, because that's exciting. And something tells me we might eventually get Fruits Basket another, even though it kind of got spoiled. But yeah, anyway, let's jump into the video. So there's definitely a lot to talk about in regards to this big finale. And I think the biggest thing for me is being sad, but also sort of nostalgic and excited. Toru says at one point that she feels like she's like thinking about all these times she's had with everyone and how she's sad that they're over. And Kyo lets her know, like, everybody loves you, you know, like, it's like nothing's over. You can still see, it's not like you're never going to see them again. You can go see them, they can come see you. This isn't the end, right? Just because we're going off in different directions doesn't mean that it's goodbye forever. You'll still see them again, you know, like, everybody's still connected. It's a new banquet, you know, like, we're all still connected. It's just we're going to be a little further apart, right? And that happens to everybody, right? That happens in our lives. Like, you go separate ways, but you never really disconnect, you know? You're always together, even though physically you might be far apart. And oh my god, Flora just killed me. Sorry, I'm recording this, and the lovely Flora Red just hit me with a tweet that I didn't want to see right now, just saying Fruits Basket stays with you forever. And I think that's true. Because a big thing with this, it's funny she sent that, because that actually segues really well into my next point, which is that despite the fact that the show is ending, right, these stories stay with you in the same way that despite the fact that Toru and Kyo are leaving, Toru's influence is always going to be there for the Somas, right? We have Yuki letting her know, like, we'll always think of you. Like, we'll always be wondering, like, is she happy right now? Is she smiling? I hope you're happy. Right? Like, I hope she's doing well. I can't wait to see her, all these things. That they're always going to think about her and that they'll always be connected. And that every little lesson that she imparted on them, that stays. No matter how far apart they are. No matter how far apart they are, those lessons stay. And you can tell I'm really fighting it. And I think that that's the same for Fruits Basket. No matter how much time passes, this show, this show, I'm gonna think back on this a lot, you know. I have some favorite shows of all time, right? Like, I love Free. It's like my all-time favorite show. I love it to pieces. It's always gonna be my favorite. Haikyuu has a very, very special place in my heart. I love Haikyuu so much. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is absolutely insane, and I love it so much. And Fruits Basket is high up there with those shows. And I think the way that I'll think back on Fruits Basket is different than those. Because while I love those shows for different reasons, and why I love them all for different reasons, right? Like, I might love one show more than the other at any given time for a different reason. With Fruits Basket, it's forever going to be in my favorite shows. It's forever going to be in my top 10 because I'm going to look back on this and I'm going to think about the different lessons that the show taught me. And I'm not some teenager watching this for the first time. I think anybody watching this at any point in their life can walk away and learn something from Fruits Basket. I genuinely feel like a better person having seen it. And I'm really sad. I'm really, really sad that it's over. But much like Toru, even though it's over, doesn't mean that you're never going to go back and see it again, you know? It doesn't mean you can't go home again, right? Like, I can always rewatch Fruits Basket. I can go watch the OG Fruits Basket, which I've been told I'm probably going to hate, because Shigure is one of my favorite characters, and he's not the same guy in the OG, and apparently neither is Toru. But I can go watch that. I can read the manga, which might have blown some people's minds that I just said I'll read the manga, but maybe the group that I do the podcast with might want to read the manga with me. Maybe a weekly series. I don't know. Maybe. But yeah, I can read the manga. I can eagerly await the inevitable Fruits Basket movie with Kyoko and Kazuya. I can't wait. I'm not gonna lie, knowing we're getting a Kyoko movie definitely made me a little more prepared for the finale. Thank God I saw that before I went in. That definitely eased the pain a bit, knowing that, you know, it's not like the last Fruits Basket project we're gonna get. That Takiya's still got some surprises for us. Takiya and TMS still got something up their sleeve. But it's there's many things that you can do with Fruits Basket. You know, it's not the end. You know, you can go read another. You can go read the Three Musketeers thing. Like, you can do all those things. But it's still sad. You know, like, it's still sad that, like, the show itself, like, this chapter of Fruits Basket is done, right? We're gonna get a prequel. We might get maybe one day another adapted as like a movie or an OVA or something, which I would love. Because again, I still don't know what happens in another. I just know it's about their kids, even though we kind of see them at the end of this episode. But regardless, I would love that. And even if none of that was happening, even if this was the end, it's not like they're gone forever, right? Like, all of that still connects. Even if I never watched it again, it would still stay with me. And I bet it's going to stay with a lot of you as well. And of course, that's not the only thing that happens in this week's episode. There's a lot of goodbyes. We check in with a lot of characters, and I don't know what I'm going to show on here to depict all the characters, so I'm probably just going to show Yuki, because I feel like his goodbye hit the hardest. But we see everybody kind of getting ready to say goodbye, right? Kyo and Toru and Uo and Hana all go to like a petting zoo, and that's when Uo and Hana say, like, you're gonna take her away, aren't you? Like, they just knew, like, okay, this is it. And then they all graduate, and everything's great, but once they start getting ready for college and everything, they have to go their own ways. I do wonder if Toru went to college, because I know that she just kind of leaves with Kyo, so I would love to know that. That's kind of interesting. But Yuki does go to college, and unfortunately his college is, like, far away from Machi. My girl Machi Mouse. And Thief, aka Kakaru, even makes a joke of, like, is she gonna be cool with that? And they have, like, a really cute moment where he's like, if you don't, like, here's the key to my apartment, just so you know I'm not cheating on you while I'm in college. And I was like, Yuki, you don't say that. And she's like, I trust you. And he's like, cool, I'll just throw away the key then. She's like, no. Give me the key. Which is sweet, right? Because I love Machi and Yuki, and I hope they make it, you know? Like, I really like Machi and Yuki. I assume they do. But they're very, very sweet. I really enjoy Machi and Yuki's dynamic, and it was nice to see all the characters get a goodbye, including my boy, Ritsu. Ritsu with short hair giving away the kimonos, which kind of broke my heart a little bit. I was like, no, man, you could still cross-dress. Like, you don't gotta give that up. Maybe he still does. Maybe he's just giving away some kimonos just cause. And Kagura's hair got longer too. I was like, oh, dang, everybody looks a little different. Kagura's hair got longer, Ritsu's got shorter. And, like, he's gonna get married to Shigure's editor or assistant, and Shigure gives up writing, which was crazy to me. Everybody has, like, some kind of... I loved that everybody gets a goodbye. You know, like, everybody so far this season has had, like, a big moment. Like, even Ritsu, right? Like, everybody gets, like, one final big moment. And then everybody also gets a goodbye in this final episode. Like, everybody gets a goodbye. Even that one dude who trains with Shishio, like, he got a goodbye, which is crazy. And Hana got to hang out with Shishio. Is that a thing? I was like, is Hana gonna get together with Kazuma? I don't know how I feel about that. I'm kind of down, but, like, it's a little... I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Give it some time and then maybe I'll feel better about it, but like, don't know. I'm sure it's not that, but like that's what I felt. Because the guy even says like, what? Like the little trainee guy. Yeah, but yeah, a lot of characters get a goodbye. I loved what they did with like Kisa and Hiro get a good goodbye. Hattori and Mayu get a great goodbye. Aya gets a hilarious goodbye. Everybody gets like the more the show goes on, the more I'm like, I really relate to Aya the older I get. Like the fabulous, right? Like just like the we must be exquisite and blah blah blah, but deep down, big softy, right? Like that's I'm starting to kind of relate more and more to Aya. But everybody gets a goodbye. But I think one of the more poignant ones to me was Shigure. That Shigure and Akito, that Akito doesn't go to the big send-off, right? Like everybody else goes, right? Like including Mayu, like everybody, Mayu, Ritsu, everybody goes, right? Everybody goes. But Akito chooses not to go. And you know what? Fair, right? I understand why Akito felt like she shouldn't be there, right? Especially after we get the big thing with Rin, which like I was like, you know what, Rin? You don't have to feel bad. I understand that point, that position. I understand why she's like, why is everybody forgiving her? I'm not there yet. And I was like, you know what? Fair. Like, Rin has no obligation to feel anything towards Akito other than hate after everything that's happened, you know? I understand, right? Like, I am willing to not so much forget or forgive, but I am willing to move on. I'm willing to let Akito atone, right? And see who Akito will become. But if Rin doesn't want to give her that chance, I understand, right? Like, that's totally fair. So I think Akito not showing up made a lot of sense and was actually really mature. But Shigure giving up writing was a big surprise to me. Like, I was so shocked by that because I was like, wow, he really did give up this thing that he was good at just to be with Akito. And they actually have sort of a sweet moment when they say goodbye. And Akito even says, like, I'm not going to go, but I get to see her whenever I want. Right? And I was like, that's cool. Like, I like that Akito's like, I get to see her whenever I want. Like, Toru even got to God. You know, like, Toru is so important to all the Somas, not just the Zodiac, all of them, including Akito. I really enjoyed that. Also, just because I feel like I have to mention it because he's my boy, Momiji gets a good send-off as well, Momiji and Haru, where Momiji's like, freaking Kyo wants to just keep her to herself. I'ma pinch him so hard, right? And Haru's like, you could do that at the send-off. He's like, I can't do that, Toru's there. I'm like, oh, that's cute. And he says, like, I'm gonna get an amazing significant other, and we're gonna go and we're gonna rub it in their face, and Toru better be happy by the time I get there. And I just loved it. Like, all the Somas, I don't think I'm forgetting it. I am forgetting somebody, Kureno. Kureno and Uo get a great send-off, where, like, Kureno's not going to be there either, right? Kureno's not at the send-off. He still has the cane, which is, that makes me real sad. Like, Kureno has the cane, which means he's still in a lot of pain, but, you know, is what it is. But, you know, he's okay. He's at, like, this cottage area, I guess. And Uo says, like, you better bake some food for me when I get there. And he's like, all right. Like, and he has something special planned for her. And I love that it's not just, like, Toru and Kyo going off on this adventure. Yuki's going off on this big adventure. Uo is going off on this big adventure. Hana's apparently banging Shishio. You know what I mean? Like, just, like, everybody's going off to do something, right? And even Kisa and Hiro talk about what's going to happen to Shigure's house. My headcanon, Kisa and Hiro move into Shigure's house. Like, that's my thinking, is that Kisa and Hiro will move in there. And because I love that they say it, like, because it's a good question they bring up, like, what's going to happen to that old house? And when I heard them say tear it down, I was like, no, right? Like, that kind of broke my heart. I was like, no, but because, like, there's memories there. But I like that the idea that they're just going to let it sit there for a bit until somebody moves in. And my headcanon, it ends up being Hiro and Kisa, like, as far as I'm concerned. Who am I forgetting? Am I forgetting anybody? I don't think so. It just feels like everybody's going on this big adventure. And Yuki's in particular. Yuki saying to Toru the thing that he's wanted to say forever, you were like a mother to me. To all of us. Thank you. Toru. When he said thank you, Toru, I started bawling. I couldn't stop until the end of the episode. Like, when he said Toru, not Honda-san, Toru, and his last words to Kyo, like, everything about Yuki and Kyo and Yuki and Toru in this final episode, I was a mess. Like this final episode was just so good. Just such a good send-off in so many ways, and oh man, it was good. It was super good. But, and this is probably where I'm gonna slide the screenshot so that it's this thing. That's not the end of the episode. The episode doesn't end with everybody, just going off and happily ever after and all that. I mean, they do. It does end with a happily ever after, which I am very happy for. I'm very thankful for. But it's not what I thought, right? Because what I thought was going to happen is that we'd see them all, like, say goodbye to Toru and Kyo, and then and then it cuts to, like, everybody, like, maybe, like, a brief glimpse at what they're doing, like Hattori and Mayu, like, on their vacation, and Shigure and Akito at the estate, and Kyo and Toru doing what they're doing, like Machi going to visit Yuki, all that stuff. No. Instead, it's a flash forward to this little girl holding a cat and mouse toy, asking where's Kyo and Toru, and then this other chick shows up, and she goes, and because the kid runs in and goes, Mom, where's Kyo and Toru? And this girl goes, call them Grandma and Grandpa. And then a young man who looks an awful lot like Kyo walks in and says they're off on their own, and they say give them their alone time, and you hear Kyoko say live a good life and grow old like that. Like, live a good, happy life, be happy, have lots of fun, have great memories, and grow old like that. And there's old Toru and Kyo, and I was so... Oh my god, that's all I wanted. That was it, that's all I wanted, right? I was just like, I just want them to be happy. And they were. And, like, you can rest easy knowing, like there might have been some, there might have been some trials and tribulations, some stuff that I would have loved to have seen, right? Like, maybe one day we'll get that. Maybe an OVA, maybe a spin-off manga, like the Misadventures of Kyo and Toru or something. I'm sure there was trials and tribulations. I'm sure it wasn't easy. But, because no relationship is. Every relationship has its rocky points. Every relationship has some argument now and again. But you can rest easy knowing Kyo and Toru grew old together and had kids. Kyo and Toru banged. That's weird. But maybe that's my ace side coming out. But I was like, they had kids. They were happy. I don't personally want kids, but I know a lot of people do. So it's like they had kids. They were happy. And they got old together. I wonder, like, do they still see the others? I'm sure they do. Like, I'm positive they do. And that's just, like, that meant the world to me. That Takia put that in there. That in the end they were happy. That meant so much. And those characters must be from another. Like, those characters must be from another, and I just don't recognize them. But that was just such a beautiful send-off. That was such an amazing exit for two characters who I've spent a long time with now. And it's funny because I feel like I've spent a lifetime with them, and it's only been a few years for me. I can't imagine folks like Allie and Flora who grew up with this manga, like who read this manga and have been with Fruits Basket for so long. Like, I can't imagine what that feeling must have been like to know this whole time that, like, they're good, like, they're happy, all of them. Like, all of them are happy. Like, not many stories end up with every single character being happy in the end, Like, sometimes there's sad shit that happens. And I'm sure there's sad stuff. Like, Kyo and Toru are pretty old, which tells me, like, by the end of this, like, they are elderly, which tells me maybe not everybody's around anymore. But, like, I'm sure that there's sad stuff that happened. But they were all happy. Like, they all got to stay together. That's all I needed. I just wanted them to be happy. And I got that. And that's it. And I am stalling because it's over. And this is the last time I'm going to be talking about Fruits Basket as a series, right? Don't think this is the end of me. You better stay subbed, my friends, because I'm definitely going to be talking about that movie in 2022. What is that even going to be? Like a prequel movie? Hell yeah. Finally get to meet Toru's dad? Yes, please. Yeah, I wonder what this movie's gonna, like, I wonder what showing somebody Fruits Basket for the first time, like, is gonna feel like if you show them the movie first. Like, imagine showing somebody the movie first and then the rest of Fruits Basket. You know, that'd be like watching Fate Zero and then Unlimited Blade Works. I haven't seen Fate Zero for the reference, but I have seen Unlimited Blade Works. That's gonna be interesting, you know? And if they do another, like if they do Fruits Basket another and you watch it all in like sequential order, like in order of timeline, like they should do that. Like they should absolutely do that. That'd be amazing. And so even though I'm gonna talk about that, and even though I'm not like heartbroken, because I'm very much like fulfilled, right? Like I'm crying, right? And I'm like I'm good now, but you could hear it in my voice throughout this recording. Like I'm getting emotional, but it's not because I'm sad, because I'm not sad. I'm very, very, very happy, and I'm sort of overwhelmed with emotions, you know? And knowing that, like, this is the last time I'm going to talk about it as a series, that I'm not going to be able to do a design time. Although I will actually be able to do a design time on Katsuya, so that's kind of cool. But knowing that this is it, right? It's hard for me, because I know maybe some people aren't going to stay subbed. You know, some people are going to be like, screw it, I don't want to watch weekly seasonal anime with JoJo anymore. I'm done, right? And you guys leave. I'm going to be sad, because, you know, there's so many familiar faces in the comments at this point. And, you know, I'm not going to go in a parasocial relationship here, but, like, you know, you see some familiar faces, and it's going to be sad when they go. And I'm going to miss you guys. Those of you who take off, and I'm not mad at you. You know, like, if you take off, I get it. I sincerely hope you stay, because I guarantee you there's eventually going to be some show that you're going to want to hang out with me for. And I do think that, you know, I'm a decent enough chatterbox to earn your sub, but if not, I get it. And I just want to say I'll miss you, and thank you for hanging out with me. Thanks for watching this show with me. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you when I see you. It's not goodbye, it's see you later. But with that said, that is going to wrap up today's video here, so I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to boop that up snoot, share if you care, leave a comment down below, all that fun stuff. And of course, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, set notifications all, you know, all that jazz. And before we go, as always, I want to give a big, big thank you to the good folks in the T Squadron. Look at these beautiful people. Look at all these beautiful names. And hey, if you'd like to join these beautiful people, there are two ways to do so. The first is by hitting that join button right beside the sub button. That gets you a badge next to your name, some emotes to spam in the comments, and of course, your name scrolling past the screen here. Or you can check out that Patreon page for just $1. You can help keep the lights on around here, and I would sincerely appreciate it. You should also check us out over on Twitch. We do like live streaming over on Twitch. It's a fun time. I'm going to be re-debuting a character over there, or I'm going to be re-debuting over there eventually, and it's going to be a whole new character. Even the YouTube channel is going to change a bit, so hang out with us over on Twitch if you feel like it. And for now, this is it. Last thing, better think of something good to say. Drink lots of tea. Be good to each other. Watch more Fruits Basket. Just rewatch it, just because. Okay, bye.